I probably should have opened up Deepwoken before I start streaming. Cause it's gonna take a second because I gotta update my Roblox. So just bear with me for a second. Also, I should probably turn on some background noise because I'm streaming. Let's see. How's this sound? Yeah, it's kind of quiet. Okay. Let me pause that for a second. Okay, so if you didn't know, I was gone for like the past 14 days. And I am now back. First thing I'm doing, I'm playing Deepwoken because I like Deepwoken. My Roblox is being bummy, it's not loading. I love that. Anyhow, I'm thinking the plan for me currently, once my Roblox loads. Actually, let me see, can I make it show what my Roblox is here, like this is what I'm looking at right now. Just this blank screen with like the Roblox logo. Okay, there we go. Now it's doing something. I'm happy. Okay. Hold up. Now I gotta change it to Roblox. How do I? Okay, give me just a second. Window capture. Select a window. Oh. Oh, I did something bad. Okay, wait. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. Okay. Alright, but I actually don't know what I'm gonna do today. But what I do know is that's great. My live, I'm looking at it. It doesn't have like any sort of thumbnail whatsoever, so people aren't gonna click it. That's great. Okay. But and I guess I could talk about the update. Cause hold up, where is I'm gonna go to the live real quick and I'm gonna put up a will it let me put up a picture for this? Upload a thumbnail? Alright, I'm gonna try to find a good enough screenshot that people will click on. Boom. Yeah, this is probably good enough. It's an image of Kiersguard Champ. Oh god. Oh, okay, there we go. But I am finally back. This means I get to use Hailbreaker again, so I'm very excited about that. Oh yeah, I should probably go open up my stream so I could at least see what the see what happens, like in case somebody says something. Alright, back on Chime. Nobody's in the regions because they separated West queues and East queues, which should have been separated, but because there's so little West players now, I can't even get matches. Because before, I remember the top Chimes players were flaming me in the top Chimes Discord server for like the balancing. They're flaming me because I didn't have a high elo. Because one, I don't do Chimes. Two, I don't actually play to win. I play to have fun, which is not zone cheesing and using Iron Sing and throwing people in a zone, which is what a bunch of them do. That's just not fun to me, so I don't do that. Also, there's this new piece by Azali. Hold up, let me put it up. Like, it's a banger. And I'm definitely going to use it in my next video. Oh, I have my NLK crown on. I'm not supposed to. Where's this guy? Oh, here he is. Let's see if I still remember how to play. I think they patched the frozen anchor full freeze. They shadow patched it. I'm like 100% sure they just shadow patched it. That's good, but that's not good because this is my main build. There's actually like a above 90% chance they patched it. Because I hit the crit like 3 times and it didn't full freeze. I mean, it full freeze for a second, but... Yo, I'm actually so washed. Let's see. Yeah, they patched the full freeze. Well, now it's working as it should, so I feel like that's fair. Honestly, it shouldn't have did what it used to do, so. But this is just how Hailbreaker should be innately. I shouldn't be forced to use a whole synergy just to get the freeze effect on the Hailbreaker. That's what sucks with Hailbreaker. Like, it's good, but the crit does completely nothing unless you get that lucky full freeze off. And the lucky full freeze, it's not even luck. You actually have to set it up where you hit them at the exact ending of it. So it's so much work for no payoff. It's so bad. Hold up, wait. Let me put on, yeah, this one. Yeah, they patched the... If they patched this one, they patched the Frostthorn one too, because they use the same exact type of crit. Basically, for the way they set it up, all the crits technically count as bottom freeze. And because they all count as either bottom freeze or full freeze, like with Hailbreaker it's full freeze, with Gran it's bottom freeze, but pretty much because they all count as a full freeze or a bottom freeze, and full freeze and bottom freeze in the code is the same thing, essentially, it will automatically end it early, which is what should happen, and I'm glad it happens, but I don't like the fact that this entirely removes Hailbreaker's, like, niche of being able to full freeze people for, like, a really good amount of time. I mean, I'm glad that you can't, like, one-shot people anymore. That seems really fair. Dude, I haven't played this game in 14 days. I'm surprised I'm playing at this proficiency. Actually, I just realized there's no need for Ice Flock now because of that, so... There it is. Good react, nice. Really good react, nice. Good react, again. Oh, this guy's good. Yeah. Okay, my parry was voided. That's great. Really good posture build, but I don't think it's enough. Surprised he didn't immediately go straight for the attack. Oh, well. That guy wasn't that bad. He's pretty good. Okay, there we go. I'm lagging. Oh yeah, the balance patch, I was looking at it. The balance patches, Well, no, the thing is, you could still do the Hailbreaker Blind Seer thing. It's just the moment you hit them, it'll break the ice, which means that if you wanted to do, like, let's say, like an M1 at Ice Lance M1, that would break the ice now, when before it wouldn't. So pretty much, the ice breaking will allow you to get 1 free hit. So you could technically do an Eclipse Kick, a Sightless Beam, a Soul Beam. Soul Beam is still true after that, which they didn't fix, which kind of upsets me. Kier's Winter did need a damage buff, because the only reason why it was strong was because people didn't realize that if you got, like, hit with the crit, you could just block and then roll the second part, like the running. But now that people know that you can do that, like, Kier's Winter is complete cheeks, so the slight buff is good. But what I really liked was the rifle nerf, well, Blunderbuss in specific. The fact that they slightly nerfed Blunderbuss damage is actually so huge, because the reason why Blunderbuss was so strong, or not damage buff, but they nerfed the pen on it, and that was the reason why it's so good, because it did like 34 damage with an insane amount of innate, and because of that innate, as well as the fact that people got like bugged rifle crits, they could do so much stupid stuff. And then also, I was messing around over my, like, vacation. You are able to hide your secondary rifle M1 with the other person's body, which is why it was so strong, because, like, even if you didn't react to the first M1, you still would lose because you can't see their second M1 because it's hidden by your own body. Which, the fact that your own body would hide the animations of their attack, it just threw you, but I feel like that's pretty obvious. But I'm considering mentioning it in the balanced Discord server to get that changed, because the fact that you can completely hide your secondary M1 on rifle by just attacking is absurd. Okay, wait, they didn't patch it? I'm so confused, because half the time it's not working, but the other half it is. Yeah, that guy wasn't bad. He was W King and M1ing. Yeah, rifle's still strong, it's just not as good anymore, which is what I do appreciate, because I don't have to deal with, like, these dumb rifle builds that, like, just obliterate me. Like, that dude is still able to shaky me with rifle, and his rifle is one of the it's a decent rifle, it's not the best rifle. Hold on, actually no, I want this song. Also, I am considering, since Ice Block is gonna be useless with the new, well, actually, I gotta check if it's useless, because the freeze is really iffy. But if the freeze is really iffy, like, still, when I use it, like, next time, and it just doesn't work the way it should, I will be swapping off of it for probably Rising Frost. No, they didn't. So I don't know why it wasn't working, like, the first time. I mean, either way, I haven't really been using Ice Block that much, because I found out that, like, if I Ice Block them right here, they could just spam F and get out. That guy just chose not to spam F. Which probably should have spammed F. Ooh, good ping. One thing I don't like about fighting, like, lower elo players is they just do this. I don't have an issue if you're low elo, but most of the time they just play by, like, jumping around the place and doing, like, aerial M1s. And yeah, that works against most players, because most players, I found out, like, the crazy statistic, most players are below, like, what's it called? They're below 800 elo. I'm like, that's crazy to me, because, like, I don't even play Chimes that much to, like, win or to actually get top 250, like most of the people do. Like, look, all these guys have top 250. I don't play for top 250. And the crazy bit is while not playing for top 250, I can still get high rank and above 800, but some people are still below 800. And then the worst bit is, the people on top chimes act like elo is a good metric for anything, when it's not. Like, I remember they were flaming me for being low elo, and then when I mentioned how some people can still be good without doing chimes, they're like, oh, but we measure for skill though. And so it's like they say they measure for elo, and then when I bring up elo as a bad argument, they say they measure for skill, but when they talk about skill, it's subjective because they don't like certain people, so they just say they're bad. It's like the most backwards possible way to look at anything. It's like, as long as it benefits them, they'll say it. And that's, I mean, then again, the thing about the top players is they kind of know balancing, right? The thing about top players is they'll use what's stupid, so you'll know what's dumb by just off what they're using. But a lot of them don't want their stuff to get nerfed. Like, I remember I was talking about Jet Striker nerfs in the server. Because in the server, you could check statistics, and I'm not going to say too much because I'm not trying to get boomed from the server. But pretty much, I'm not going to leak the exact numbers. But the statistics on Jet Striker is insanely good. And I was mentioning to all the top players how, oh yeah, how come you guys say Jet Striker is not good, but everybody's using it? And everybody using it has the highest win rate out of every, like, oath? And they're like, oh, but Jet Kick's not good though. That wasn't the question. Why is Jet Striker so good? If, like, why are so many people using it in top chimes if it's not good? And they're like, oh, but it's just not good though. Like, sure, they know how to play the game, and they are using what's stupid, but they don't do the critical thinking of why something's dumb, right? Which is something you'll learn in game design. Pretty much, like, the whole reason why chimes is a good thing is because in, like, an unbiased, it's like, best way I can think of it is like communism with no corruption. Communism with no corruption would be, like, crazy good for most of the people, because everybody would be equal. But the issue is, when you put it into practice, communism isn't good, because people end up abusing the system. Like, people in the higher positions end up abusing the systems, and also, most of the time, there just isn't enough to go around, and it helps, or it worsens the situation when you look at it from the fact that there's always going to be corruption in that. Meaning, people aren't going to get what they need because the top people are going to be corrupt. Right? But pretty much, that's the way I see top chimes. It's like, not necessarily that it's corrupt, per se, but the top chimes players know what's stupid, but they don't willingly admit it. Because if everybody's on Jet Striker, why would you want to, like, nerf Jet Striker? Because I'm using Jet Striker, everybody in top 250 is using Jet Striker, all the top 250s are in the balance server, so why the hell would they want to nerf Jet Striker, which is what everybody uses? They just wouldn't. But if you look at it from a game balance perspective, Jet Striker has Jet Kick, which is pretty strong by itself, but also, I did a little bit of testing. If somebody rolls an attack, right, it doesn't imply the Jet Striker Jet Kick end lag, meaning that you could theoretically, after somebody rolls your attack, you could turn around and aerial on one, and by the time they try to get an uppercut off, you'll still hit them, so the uppercut is pointless because it doesn't actually do the freeze. Or not the freeze, it doesn't do the damage or the hit stun, because their, like, aerial attack after the Jet Kick has so little end lag, they could just do it. Now, I feel like if you look at it from a game balance perspective, someone being able to dodge your attack and you still be able to punish them just because your attack is faster and has less end lag, that's crazy. But none of the top players want to look at it from that perspective. They just want to say, oh yeah, it's not as stupid as you'd say, and they should, oh, but it's actually really bad though. Why is it really bad though? Riddle me that. Tell me why it's bad. Don't just say, oh, it's bad though. By you saying it's bad but not providing any answers, that's a bad faith argument because I have nothing to base your claims off of. And the reason why that's important is because if I can't base your claims off of anything, then you're like, it's like the same way with meta-analysis is they have to describe how things are an issue or how things correlate, because if they don't do that, then nobody can, like, fact check them, right? how am I supposed to fact check you and agree with you, oh, jet kick isn't stupid, if you don't provide me any reasoning as to why it's not dumb? But I could provide, like, at least 4 reasons why it's stupid in some situations. And the worst bit is, with Hailbreaker, the top Chimes players seem to say Hailbreaker's really good. But Hailbreaker is situational and requires synergies to be strong, but jet kick is just strong on its own. Yeah, like, I don't get it. And then they don't even mention how Jet Striker has Fake Strike. Fake Strike's really strong because it's a innate shaky combo. They have Jet Kick too, and then they also have Vanishing Follow-Up with no cooldown, so they could just keep Vanishing Following Up over and over and over again. So they run it with Light and Medium for shaky block combos, so they could flourish somebody, hit them with a Revenge to put them in shaky block, and then because of the TP, they teleport back onto them and then keep hitting them. And they don't think it's stupid that they could do that. They don't think Vanishing Follow-Up needs a, like, cooldown, or make it so it's only every other flourish. They don't think about any of this. They just think, oh yeah, I use it, everybody top 250 uses it, so we're just not gonna nerf it. Right? Then Star Kindred, they did nerf it. Pretty happy about that. Soulbreaker's fine where it is. I don't really see anybody using it besides ganks. But my opinion on VV. VV, I feel like VV is probably, like, the closest we'll ever get to a game that reaches the potential of Deepwoken. And the reason why I say that is because, the funniest bit, the Type Soul players, and I play Type Soul, I almost got ranked in Type Soul before I quit playing ranked, but pretty much, the people in Type Soul say all the time, oh yeah, VV sucks, and then they complain every single time about the balancing of Type Soul. VV, it's not perfect, but you're forgetting. VV is a brand new game. Type Soul has had 5 re-releases and like 5 different new developers, like 5 different owners of the game. And with all of that, they still end up not coming up to what VV did, because VV is just so much better in how it's designed. Obviously, yes, VV does have some flaws, and I feel like that's obvious. Every game's gonna have their flaws. But VV is as close as it can get to the potential Deepwoken had on release, and I will stand by this for like a long time. But like with Type Soul, I remember, like, I use Air Hakuda and Ground Hakuda, mainly Air Hawk, right? But the people on like Kendo and Speed are talking about how Air Hakuda and Ground Hakuda is stupid. And then I see these dudes just spamming F, and then I look at it, yeah, sure, Air Hakuda and Ground Hakuda has a lot of damage, like, if you can confirm the hits, and it can confirm hits on burgers, but the issue is it can only confirm hits on burgers. And the reason why I bring this up is because I see people, I remember I was watching Nano Prodigy's video as to why, like, Ground Hakuda is stupid. The dude got guard broken by Dragon's Descent, which you aren't supposed to parry it, you're supposed to roll it, and then he gets hit with a Thunderbolt move, so he can't flash step anymore, and then he spams his flash step still. Why would you spam your flash step if you just don't have flash step? You're hit with Thunderbolt, meaning you don't have your flash step, and you keep trying to use your flash step. Like, the thing is, all these Kendo and Speed players, and Medic players in Keto, I see them often relying entirely on flash stepping and not parrying or using their basic rolls. And then they end up eating whole combos with Hakuda and Ground Hakuda because it forces them to be locked in place. And it's not inherently dumb that you can lock somebody in place. What's inherently dumb is the fact that, like, especially on Ground Hakuda, they complain about it having true combos, which no, the true combos aren't true. You just aren't trying to parry or roll any of the attacks. The whole reason why I don't lose to Ground Hakuda players is because Ground Hakuda isn't stupid if you're actually good at parrying or blocking. Right? But with Air Hakuda, it keeps people in an air combo, so they can't escape, they can't flash step, they can't, like, they can dodge. But there's only a certain amount of frames you could dodge, so you have to rely on parrying. And because these people don't know how to parry, they just complain, oh yeah, Air Hakuda, Ground Hakuda is dumb, because they don't know what to do whenever they're just, like, getting comboed. Like, oh, I don't know how to parry, so I'm gonna complain. But with Kendo, you can click 2 buttons, V down split gate, both of which are guard breaks right now. That true confirms 80 damage plus true damage, I'm pretty sure. Rising Swallow, 42 damage, it's piss easy to hit. And guess how many ground Hakuna moves you have to do to get 42 damage? 3! And guess how much Ray it costs to use Rising Swallow? Like 25! Guess how much it costs to do the ground Hakuna combos? At least 50! Double the Ray for more damage, as well as putting more of your moves on cooldown. That doesn't sound good! And the reason why that's a massive problem is because you have one skill tree that's just inherently stronger versus one skill tree that's inherently worse, but because people don't do game design and most people aren't actually good at the game they play and they can only combo, they can't parry. And that's an issue with Deepwoken and Type Soul and VV. You can play aggressive perfectly fine, but playing defensive requires so much more skill that it causes so many issues. Let's see. How do you feel about Contractor and Chime? Personally, I don't think you should ban any oaths in Chime, because I feel like banning oaths inherently is just a dumb idea. Because then somebody's gonna make the argument, oh, this oath can do that, and then it does. It'd be like, oh, that's true. Let's ban this oath, and eventually people just won't be able to use oaths in Chime whatsoever. I feel like banning oaths in Chime isn't necessarily a good idea. But keeping Contractor how it is also isn't a good idea. But the issue is the way it plays. You can't change how it plays without just removing either 1, its niche, 2, its move, right? Because with Contractor, you get Judgment, and Judgment isn't the stupid thing on Contractor for Chimes. It's entirely Equalizer. And the reason why Equalizer is the, underlying issue is because you could dead just zone cheat. Annoying. Okay, that's cool. You're on Gale, so I don't want to hear it. And the reason why I could say that is because Gale is inherently stupid. I could literally describe every single synergy, actually, not synergy, because synergies shouldn't get something nerfed. What should get them nerfed is, the way it plays on its own. Hellbreaker shouldn't get nerfed because it has a synergy with Soul Beam. It should get nerfed. Actually, no, they should nerf the synergy, not the thing itself. I phrased it terribly originally. Pretty much, why would you nerf Hellbreaker being able to true confirm Eclipse Kick? You shouldn't nerf the Hellbreaker, you should nerf the Eclipse Kick after the Hellbreaker. I feel like that's obvious. But the developers don't actually think about the balancing like that. They think about it from, oh, this weapon's strong, so let's nerf this. They don't make it where, oh yeah, if you're a knockdown from Grounding Bolt, landing a Trident Spear crit would reduce the damage. Or landing gun M1s reduce the damage. If you fully land a Hellbreaker crit or a knockdown from Fulgurite formation Grounding Bolt, it shouldn't let you get the full damage of the Trident Spear crit, right? But you shouldn't just nerf the Grounding Bolt, you should nerf the synergy it has afterwards. Also, I don't have an issue with this guy, but this is how people play in Chimes. And this is why I don't do Chimes, and then I get clowned on for having, not a lot of elo. But look, all he's doing is just backing up, and then he's gonna throw out Guard Break, and he's gonna shaky me. And then guess what happens whenever I put pressure on him? He just holds block. Which, yeah, holding block's smart. But look how he's playing. And then, look, now I gotta back away from that. Which is one thing I never understood. People who complain about, what's it called? Emotion Wave, you could just back away from Emotion Wave. The same way you could back away from a Hellbreaker crit. And look, this guy, I'm not going to say he's bad, but he's inherently just spamming, and you could see that because I just quite literally hit him with the Crystal Impale. Why'd it work? Because he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just throwing out moves. That's the issue with Chime. This guy, he doesn't parry that much, but he has enough offensive to make me force defensive. And forcing defensive isn't inherently bad, especially for a fighting game. It should be where people have to trade between being offensive and defensive at different times. But no, he could just full on be offensive the whole time. He doesn't have to worry about anything. Because I mess something up, he could just gray cast a Guard Break. And the fact you could just gray cast a Guard Break and it'll just work is actually absurd to me. I don't know. I remember I was watching a bunch of over my break. I was watching a bunch of oh yeah, this build got me Godseeker. And it's people playing either as slow as possible or stacking shaky on like light jet. Light or medium jet. Like, I swear, I watch those videos, jet is the most used oath on that list. And it's not even like, oh yeah, jet is used the most, but like, it's only by like a little bit. It's like 2%. No! It's like 90% jet! That's the worst bit. Like, why is it I don't see any build variety? Like, with my builds, you don't see any variety, but that's because I chose what I wanted to main. But these guys actively aren't doing it because they like what they're using. They're using it because what they're using is inherently stupid and will let them get top 250 easier. There's a reason why there's only like 3 people who have top 250 on like light weapon, or not light weapon, on like a base sword with no outfit. And the reason why they can play base sword no outfit is because they're like Oceania and they can drag most of the people into their region. So yeah, when you drag like a top 250 into your region, and they're forced to play your region, and they can't play your region because they're in like 500 ping and there's no ping comp in top chimes, or in chimes in general, yes, you're going to clip them. Yes, you're gonna get top 250. And the thing about those clips still, I will not lie, I watch those clips, those people are miles better than most of the top 250s. And I could say this for a fact, because I've seen how they play in their own regions, fighting people in their own servers. But I don't like the propaganda that these like other region people are pushing. They're like, oh yeah, Oceania has the best players, EU has the best players, NA players suck. No. And then they say, oh yeah, EU players inherently are better than West players, or better than NA players. No, that's not how that works. I feel like if you look at it from just, oh yeah, there's a bunch of these people, and they're good, and they're higher chimes most of the time. No, that doesn't work as an argument, because for one, there's less EU players on the game, so you can't use like a metric. Like, sure, you could say, oh yeah, 30% of, let's say, apples are poisonous, and you could also say 30% of people kill people. There's a lot more apples than people, so the metric itself isn't the same, because you're comparing a bigger batch to a smaller batch, which doesn't work the way you want it to work, because the bigger batch inherently would be different than the smaller batch. The smaller batch, they only need to scan like 5 people to get the same results. Like one thing, people don't look at it from like a meta-analysis type of situation. Like, okay, so if you don't know what a meta-analysis and a correlational analysis is, go do your research. They're really helpful, and they're especially helpful for like nutrition and stuff. Like, you look at the meta-analysis, like, oh yeah, does this chemical give you this type of like cancer or something? Most of the time it's no. Most of the time, like, I remember people all the time talk about how pesticides are bad. Most of the time, pesticides, obviously you shouldn't be eating them, but a lot of things provide risks of danger. And the thing about pesticides is it provides so little, like obviously you don't want to be eating like 1 billion pesticides, or you don't want to be eating like all this, like, yeah, you don't want to eat all that pesticides. But the pesticides inherently aren't what's hurting you. I mean, they do hurt you, but you have to eat like a lot of pesticides for it to actually do something. It's the same way the original strand of WD-40 without any impurities is technically safe to drink. You shouldn't drink it, but the very first version of Roundup, where it had no imperfections, is safe to drink. I wouldn't drink it, but you could drink it. Also, at some point, I'm gonna end the stream, and then I'm getting on Minecraft, because my guild has a Minecraft server now, and I have to prepare for war. I gotta get my orbital dog cannon set up, and then also, preferably, I get the, pretty much, with orbital strike cannons, if you don't know, they could send TNT to any location on the map, so I need to make a device that hacks into other people's orbital strike cannons in order to, because with the orbital strike cannons, they inherently come with passwords. So pretty much what you can do, if you figure out the orbital strike cannon's password using a scrambler, you could take over their orbital strike cannon and explode it from anywhere along the map. So pretty much, I don't have to worry about people dropping an orbital strike cannon on my home, because I have hacked their orbital and I made it blow up on itself. Which, it's actually pretty simple redstone. I mean, it's difficult redstone, but you could just use like one of those schematic mods to do it. Which I'm actually very glad they exist. I wouldn't be able to make an orbital strike or the orbital strike hacker without it. Okay, I've been catching up with the like all the old videos of the unstable SMP from like everybody's perspective, because before I only watched Wemboos and Flame Frags, but like it's such a good series. Like I get that it's scripted, but the people actually understand how things work in like the series. And if you look at the unstable universe from every single perspective, like you look at it from like Spokes, Parrots, like if you look at it from Parrot's perspective, everything is like as jolly as can be. Like you see the good in all the characters. But if you look at Wemboo's perspective, like a good example, when Parrot and Wemboo were teamed up, Wemboo cut out the part where he told Parrot to land in the water, but Parrot didn't. And it's like tactical writing, because it shows that like you're looking at it from the perspective of other people. Like you're looking at it from the perspective of Wemboo. He doesn't think of himself as a good person, but from the perspective of Parrot, Parrot thinks that Wemboo is a better person than he's coming off as. And it's such good writing, and I like it so much because it's like a series that you're watching, and it has the good writing, but it's not like a book, and you could digest it so much faster. But books are great. You should read books. Like I was remembering, I was reading like The Fifth Wave. It's like the most convoluted story I've ever read, but I did enjoy reading it because I enjoy reading. But like it is just the most convoluted read I have ever done. And then look, I beat this guy twice, and look how he's playing. Why are you aerial M1ing in that direction? I'm not even over there. And the worst bit is, this is the type of person to say easy if he beats me. Why are you playing so far back? Please stop. I just realized I don't have a gem on this. I could have been getting a bloodless from that. Oh, I need to go get a bloodless. What are you throwing that at? Please stop. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm not having fun. This is why I don't do chimes. Look how he's playing. God. And then people will have the audacity to tell me, oh yeah, elo matters. And then whenever I mention, oh yeah, elo doesn't matter, like, oh, but like, all the top champs players are good. No. It's actually, like, take away, like, here's the thing. You don't see any top players not teaming in BR. And the reason why they have to team is because in BR, they can't play the same meta build that they play. So they inherently lose because they don't have their win con. And the thing is that it's not a bad thing to not know how to play your own thing. But come on, even I can play light medium, or light medium, guns, daggers, fists. I could play every build in the game the same way these top players can. But I can also play heavy weapon most of the time. You'll never see anybody in top chimes, like when they go to BR, pick up a heavy weapon, because they know heavy weapon won't get them the win, because they only know how to play off shaky. I mean, unless you're fighting somebody who's like a top 250 on heavy, then they'll be like, oh yeah, give me that heavy weapon. But that's because they know how to use it. And then the heavy players who are top 250, sometimes you'll see them get on light and medium weapon, but most of the time they'll just stick to like heavy weapon, because it's easier to play something you know than to play something you don't know. And I feel like that's like a pretty obvious thing. This guy's not bad, he's just... He's trying to send me in his zone. I don't want to be in zone. Like, this isn't fun. Hey Dad, I'm streaming. Don't say my name. What? I'm streaming. Do not say my name publicly. This just isn't like here's the thing. People can play like this and still not get like top 1,000, which is crazy to me because like you're playing like you're not even using your guard break, which is your win con in this situation, because I'm not gonna like lose to you if you aren't using your guard break. And even if you use your guard break, there's still like about 80% chance I win. Like the thing is, you're gonna emotion wave in final zone. There you go. Okay, now you have more HP than me. But the HP isn't what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is the fact he's gonna stall till final zone, and then he's going to emotion wave at the end. And it's going to be a problem, because emotion wave is poorly balanced. I gotta save my ghost for whenever we're in final zone. Nice. Like, see, the thing is, he thinks I'm gonna, like, Crystal Impale and then hit him. So what I could do, Crystal Impale feint, and then, look, he wasted his block. He can still run. I probably should have done, like, a better move. Ooh. Good shaky. Good hit. Good parry. Good hit again. Give me my crit, give me my crit. As long as I can get that crit off. Yeah, I'm dead here. But like, there's no way that actually feels fun to people. Because he's playing, like, if you look, he was aerial wanting at the air to build distance. Well, I mean, it's not like... The worst bit about Fist is it's incentivized where if you aren't, like, able to pressure the person you're fighting because you're not, like, good enough to, like, make them pressured, you're, like, inherently on Fist forced to play further back and slower. Same with Medium. Like, with Heavy, you could keep W keying because you still have, like, you still have damage. But, like, if you don't have... like the type of pressure that you need for like fighting people on light and medium, because you like they just have better reacts, you don't win, so you're forced to play further back and wait till zone. And that's what sucks, because like people playing further back for zone is just... Oh, ping. Yeah, okay, ping. Oh yeah, this is another build I saw in a bunch of videos. Pretty much people will use like Gale with Chain Warden to like get the crazy synergies. And instead of nerfing the synergies, the devs decide to just nerf like Gale for some reason. Like I never get, they nerf the base, but never what actually makes the thing good. And then I remember this one dude was telling me how you could air swing better on heavy weapon than like light or medium. No, you can't. You can't. That's a lie. Biggest lie of the century. And this is what I have to deal with, cuz like, and then look, I'm going to do this, but he's not going to react because he's playing medium weapon, so he can just W key. I mean, yes, this guy is actually good. He's gotten, like, top 50 before. But you could just entirely W key in M1 if you're fighting heavy. Which, I don't really like the fact you could do that. But the devs won't be able to fix that. So there's that. I've been streaming for, like, a hot minute, though. I don't know if I want to continue streaming. Because I still gotta get on Minecraft. And I have so much stuff to do today. And then, like people like this, they just want to win. You literally can't wait 5 seconds for me to just skip a song. Oh, well, yeah, of course you won't let me skip a song. You're... And the thing about this, I know how he was gonna play. He's gonna play hyper-aggressive. He's not gonna react to feints. So, pretty much what I could do, I could keep playing far back, and then I could get free hits. See? Because he doesn't know what he's doing! And then, I don't know why he says I'm a he didn't even try to parry that. Parrying too early because I don't know how to fight. And the worst bit is, if you notice, he already assumes every single time he gets an attack, he's gonna get another attack. So he easily falls for the Crystal Impale after, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And he's the same type of person to complain about anything he fights whenever he loses. Like, if I lose to a Ground Hakuda player, I'm not gonna say Ground Hakuda is stupid. I'm gonna say, yeah, I just got diffed because I didn't know what to do. I'm not good at fighting Groundhog or something. Or I'll be like, oh yeah, he's just better than me. I don't get what's so hard to say. This person's better than me. Like, I remember people were, this one dude was trying to say how, like, I wasn't that good and I'm just, like, average top 250. I agree with them. I'm an average top 250 level skill. But apparently, he thought I was trying to argue with him that I was, like, the best of the best. No! I'm, like, your average top 250. It's not that crazy. That's bannable. What is bannable? See, like, oh yeah, what's bannable? Nothing I'm doing is bannable because I'm just using a frozen anchor talent on a Hellbreaker. You're just chatting to chat. Oh yeah, I should probably start, like, clearing my pings on my YouTube account because I have, like, actually hundreds of pings. And then also, I have, like, 42 DMs. I'm sorry, I can't answer all of the DMs because I don't want to go through all that. I'm notoriously lazy, so I'm just not gonna do that. If you want to message me something, you gotta either open a ticket in my server to send me something privately, because I actually check the tickets, or like go and, like, what's it called? Just send in general. Good posture stack. And something I don't think any of the top 250 stuff, they don't have these ether imbued earrings. They give this crazy talent. I get 10 true damage every guard break with, like, Ice Forge. Yeah, I had a feeling. And then he's gonna vent. Yep. Oh no, I took a break from the game for 14 days, and I actually gained my ability to vent predict back. Because if you watched any of my content recently, I haven't been vent predicting people, and that's just because I haven't been able to. Like, my brain genuinely just couldn't click the pieces together, but now I remember. Oh, this guy? I'm pretty sure he's a top 250 or formal. Oh, he has the drip of one, which scares me. Because with these players, it's always iffy. They either have the skill and the drip, or just the drip. You definitely have the skill. Do you have the skill? Okay, he has the sauce, or some of the sauce. Come on, throw out that jolt grab. I know you want to. See, this guy's actually smart. He's playing, like, back because he knows that he's not gonna confirm on me. I just realized I haven't even been using my ice flock in any of my fights. I rolled, but okay. I mean, he had the combos, but not the parries. But like, the craziest bit to me is always the top players doing something crazy or talking crazy. Actually, it's either the funniest bit to me is it's either the top players or like the lowest of the low. Like, I remember every single time I get into a gank, the person who does the least work is always the most toxic, and it's so funny to me. Oh, I'm gonna lose this. This is gonna be like my second loss of the day. Or maybe not. No, definitely second loss. Especially with ping like this! Dude, I froze for one, like look at my ping, it's still in the red. And this is my regions. This guy has probably some of the best reacts I've ever seen. Or recently. The thing is, I know I'm gonna lose to this guy because he's been top 50 before. Like, consistently. I've been top 50 one time, I think. And it was not consistent. I dropped it immediately. But because I have gotten top 50, I could, like, clickbait in my video. I mean, I could clickbait even without it, because all these people say this build got me Godseeker, and you look at the clips, they're like still white name. And like, I feel like you shouldn't be incentivized to grind for a top 250. But I feel like instead of like framing the video as this build got me Godseeker and you're not Godseeker, you could phrase it as this build was given to me by a Godseeker, or this build has Godseeker potential, or this build, this is my Godseeker's build, or something. Like there's so many ways you could phrase it where you're not just straight up lying. Like, if you're gonna make a video name, at least have some truth to it. Like, with my video, like, you could see, I'm very good at clickbaiting. I do a lot of clickbaiting. But the thing about the clickbait I do is there's still truth to the title. It's not, like, entirely false, it's just phrased different. I won! I cheesed the hell out of him! Yeah! I cheesed the hell out of him, but I won. Golden swordfish, would I use it if I get one? Maybe. The thing is, with the golden swordfish, it's good. Oh, this is my friend. But it's good, right? I just don't like using light weapon in general. But, like, I could. And I know if I would, I need to do that more often. I keep forgetting double projectile is really good. Oh, that's not good. He has shield. Ooh. Loki, one thing I never understood is why people are complaining about, like, serpents. Like, they haven't changed it, and it's gotten a resurgence in the meta. Like, I remember, like, a long time ago, I made a video called, oh yeah, it's edging time with the serpent's edge. Serpents has always been good, but people don't realize that. And the thing is, it's gonna fall off the meta really soon, just because people now are gonna realize, oh, you can quite literally just block serpents. Like, if you're getting hit by serpents, you could just... I've not parried the crit a single time. I just block it, and it does no posture. Like, the issue with Deepwoken, the reason why most people are gonna stay where they are is because they aren't being creative. Like, if I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, what happens if I slap Frozen Anchor on a Hailbreaker, I would have never had my #1 build, right? And the thing is, these people, most of the time, are so uncreative with the builds that they don't find the new synergies. And nobody knew serpents was stupid until recent, because nobody was being creative. I was being creative when I used serpents, and it was good. But most Deepwoken players lack creative function, so they don't. They don't think about it from like a, oh yeah, it's not actually that dumb if I just do this. Like, people are so uncreative that instead of hitting the people who are doing the Hellbreaker crit mid windup, they run away. You could just hit them and get free damage. And that's the craziest bit to me. You're telling me that instead of like hitting me, you'd rather run away and get 0 damage and get 0 shaky. It's just, the people nowadays are so uncreative that they don't think about what they can do. Like back then, in verse 1, like V1, I remember everybody had different builds. Why? Because there was no inherent meta, and everybody was being creative. So, like, them being creative created the metas over time. And that's the thing. Like, the first person to do Gale Heavy, or not Gale Heavy, the first person to do Gale Medium, or Gale, or Purple Cloud Ice, they were original as hell, and they found the new meta. But because nobody is willing to branch out and they just want to stick to the meta because they know it's good, nobody finds the new meta. Like, there's been a subculture of more Hellbreaker players because I made the Frozen Anchor build and people saw it and they're like, damn, that's actually really strong. There wouldn't be a subculture of Hellbreaker players if I never made any videos on Hellbreaker and showed that it was stupid. Like, before there was Hellbreaker players, and like, even if they were better than me, which a bunch of them probably are, but even if like they just used it, they wouldn't have the same reach as I do because they don't have a channel with about 3,000 people subscribed. So because they don't have like any way to push out their unique build, nobody uses it, and then the old meta stays the old meta because nobody wants to use the new meta or find a new meta. And it's really sad that people don't want to just like create the new meta. Like, the thing is, I was so happy when people started using Hellbreaker more, because Hellbreaker, sure, it's my thing, but more people using it just feels nicer because I created something that people actually use. What do you think of Silent Heart? Silent Heart, it's Freshy Stomp without macros. And the reason why I say it's Freshy Stomp is because most of the moves are pretty reactable and good ping. Outside of good ping, like in ganks, Silent Heart is strong because of the ping. It does such high damage, and it's all true, like true damage. So Silent Heart inherently is good in ganks because of the ping, the same way Heavy is good in ganks because of ping. But the devs don't want to look at it like that. And really funny, the quote-unquote nerf to Heavy Weapon that they did actually buffed up Heavy Weapon, because with Heavy Weapon, like the way it works, or the way uppercuts work, is the slower your attack, the more damage it does. So pretty much now, Heavy Weapons are doing more damage on the uppercut, and the uppercuts are still pretty much guaranteed to land in a gank because of how uppercuts work, right? Because of ping, uppercuts are going to land, like, no matter what. So quite literally, all the rework did to uppercuts was make them stronger in ganks. But everybody, because it's a placebo, they think uppercuts are worse off. No, they're not worse off, they're actually better. But because the people don't actually understand game design and they don't actually try to test these things out, they think, oh yeah, Heavy Weapons balance now compared to before. Like, if I go to Deepwoken in general and I ask, do you guys think Heavy Weapons, like, balance now compared to before? They're gonna say, yes! No, Heavy Weapon is stronger now! Like the damages, of course. Actually landing the uppercuts, like, you could still see, I'm landing them pretty, like, often. Sure, I'm landing most of the time off of, like, True Stun, but even, like, not off a True Stun, I am landing uppercuts, but that's because I'm teching it. If you don't tech your uppercuts, you're gonna land a lot less. But I feel like looking at it from a, oh yeah, you gotta tech it to land it. Well, that's against good players. Against burgers, you probably won't need to do anything. You could just throw it out. food. Like the thing, people complain about Hellbreaker, but they could just, like, if you look, matter of fact, I'll feint the crit this time and he's still gonna run away from it. Oh, I lied, he didn't run away from it. But he knows to run away from the Hellbreaker crit. I don't know why he didn't do that. Why he didn't run there. Also, I should probably put a gem on P-Blast. It would make my win rate go up. Good parry. Good chip. And that's the thing. That's why I play kind of slower whenever I fight somebody with a guard break, because they could just do something like that, and then now the fight is really even. The fight should be even though, because this guy's really good, but still, I don't want it to be even. Good chip. I'm surprised he didn't try to go for a parry for Shaky. Yeah. If he just knew he could spam F during the crit, I would have lost. Oh yeah, the thing is, a heavy Vanguard is actually, like, still good. And they didn't nerf heavy Vanguard whatsoever. I feel like this is pretty obvious. They're going to. It's in the, like, I remember. Technically, I'm not, actually, yeah, I'm just not gonna leak it because I'm not trying to get boomed from the balance server. Like, I like to see, like, the thing is, they don't like my suggestions, and they dislike it because it's just me. Like, Six Lukes would say the same thing that I say, and then they'll be like, yeah, it's Six Lukes, so we gotta vote it. But, like, I'm there to watch the balancing, so I kind of know what's, like, happening. And the thing is, most of the time, I don't doom post about Deepwoken. The only time I started doom posting is, like, when heavy weapons started getting nerfed. But, like, what's it called? Most of the time, I'm talking about how Deepwoken is a good game. And even in my criticism videos, I talk about how Deepwoken is probably one of the best games, if not the best game on Roblox, or, like, still. That, I don't think that's somebody, it's something, somebody who, quote-unquote, hates Deepwoken would say. And that's what I've been getting a lot. They say, oh yeah, you hate Deepwoken, or, oh, you think XYZ. No, I don't think XYZ. And no, I don't hate Deepwoken. Deepwoken's still my favorite game. But a lot of people just mix it up because they don't read and they don't, like, understand. They don't, like, try to... I'm surprised it didn't guard break me. I actually got so lucky right there. I was full posture the whole time, honestly. I'm up on him. Ah, that... Now I'm back to full posture because I had to sneeze and I had to close my eyes. And the thing is, he's playing slower. If you notice, he's feinting a lot, so... I can expect more feints from this guy. And I'm feinting a lot too, so he should expect more feints from me. If he's smart, he'll expect feints. He's gonna feint right about here. Yeah. Good feint. He won't expect that. Yeah, and then I get free hit. More free hits, and then... I should have just M1'd. I don't think I should have feinted. Okay, so after Gale Lunge, he's gonna keep playing push. So, next time he does Gale Lunge, I'll roll it, and then I'll Crystal Impale. He feigns Heavenly each time. I sold right there. Good react, knew the feint. Rolled that, but okay. Good playback. No feint that time. That's interesting. Shaky. Okay, yep, I won. For somebody who only gives me 6 elo, he's really good. Tips for hitting Godseeker, don't... Like, okay, so the thing is, I know how to get Godseeker, but I will never actually do it. First things first, you play a meta build, and then you zone cheese, and you play as far back as possible, dodge anybody if it's not your region or on a stupid build. That's all it is. Most of the time, Godseeker is not skill, it's about who you fight and who you dodge. Because the thing is, if I started dodging players I knew were better than me, and I only played my regions, and I played for zone cheese, and I got an actual build that would be good for top chimes, like this is a gank build, not a chime build. Or it's a generalist, it does everything. It does PvE, PvP, pretty much everything. But pretty much, the thing is, if you want to hit Godseeker, you have to throw away your morals. Like, the thing about top chimes, it's not about if you're actually good at the game, it's about how much you're willing to do to be recognized. And a little thing about the recognition, a little psychology thing, pretty much people who are, like, under-recognized, or people who don't get the recognition they think they need, or the recognition they do need, because, like, even as a kid, you will need recognition, otherwise you'll feel like you aren't doing enough, which is, like, a whole psychology thing. But most of the Godseekers did not get the recognition they needed when they were, like, a kid, which is why they play top chimes, because they need recognition somehow, and being quote-unquote top chimes is enough recognition for them. It's a whole psychology thing, really funny, and it really is, it's like, you can pretty much figure out most people's, like, personalities and what happened to them based off of how they act, because your personality is entirely derived off of the situation around you. So you could figure out a lot of things by just, like, seeing, like, how people act, which is, it's like a whole thing, which is why, if you notice, most of the top chimes players are aggressive people, and they'll talk trash, and they'll be rude, and they'll do everything in their power to, like, do stuff like that. And the reason why it's like that is specifically because they have an ego, or they need to get recognized, and they want to get recognized. Which is why they, like, play top chimes, to get recognized. That, it's like a whole thing. I'm very happy, like, if you can take AP Psychology as a class, do take AP Psychology, because it teaches you so much about people in, like, a good way. Like, I highly recommend, if you can, take AP Psych, because, like, you will understand so much about people around you, and it will make things so much easier in your life to understand people and then know what to say. But, like, genuinely, if you look at what I've been doing today, I've been grinding chimes, like, just straight chimes. I've only lost 2 matches, one of which I threw. Not on purpose, but I did throw. Like, if I wanted to get top chimes, I could definitely get it. But I just don't think I want to, like, waste away in chimes for a full day. And the worst bit is, I see these dudes wasting away in chimes, and you check, like, OG Sin server or something, they're all deafened in a VC screen sharing chimes while nobody's watching their chimes. There's no way that's fun. Like, you could be talking to your friends or just yapping while streaming, and they just don't want to do that. My homeboy has pinged me and said, best game on Roblox is Rhea Slap. Oh, I can't say that. That's a title. Alright, I'm gonna do one more match before I get on Minecraft or something, because I want to play Minecraft, and I like Minecraft. Yeah, pre-monthly reset chimes. The thing about pre-reset chimes is, back then, pre-reset chimes, I was on an unfinished build, and I pretty much got top 250. I was a couple elo away from it. It is not that hard to actually get top chimes if you play as cheese as possible, because that's what I was doing. Back then, before all resets, I was playing Iron Sing Kier's Cleave. I was cheesing on an unfinished build, and it still got me pretty much top 250. And I could theoretically... Do I think EU Chime is harder than NA Chime? No and yes. EU Chime is harder because it has a different meta. Like, if you were to fight somebody in EU Chime, and you were in the same ping as them, it would be a different meta. So, like, let's see. If you were NA and you were playing EU servers, obviously, yes, it would be harder. And the thing about EU chimes is inherently, I don't think it's harder, but the EU players are forced to, like, drag people to their region because there's nobody who plays EU normally. And that's what kind of sucks about, like, EU, is you're forced to drag people to your region, and then because you drag people to your region, people can make the argument, oh yeah, you can't get top 250 if you're not fighting people, like, in region. Which, yeah, that is technically true, but they quite literally don't have a choice. And that's the worst bit about it, because I know there's a ton of EU players who are really good at the game, but you will never see, like, those EU players that I know are good at the game in top chimes, because they don't want to force people into their regions. They don't want to play like that. And because they don't want to play like that, it doesn't matter that they're good, they just don't get to queue people in their regions. And it sucks so bad. Because, like, imagine being, like, an EU player and being, like, #1 at the game, but you have morals, and you don't want to drag people to your region and just beat on, like, a basically punching bag. You aren't gonna get top 250, and nobody will recognize you as a good player because you aren't top 250. I actually feel so bad for some of the EU players. But I don't think that EU Chime is inherently harder. I think the fact that there's less people in EU Chime makes the game, for them, a little bit harder. But then, like, I swear, a bunch of the EU players, like, they'll be saying, like, oh yeah, you NA players suck, and they'll be like generalizing a whole group of people. Which, if you generalize a whole group of people, first of all, that's just inherently not gonna be factually accurate. But also, if you slap any other controversial title on, oh yeah, it's the whole group, people are going to freak out because it's a controversial group. But pretty much, the way I see it, like, if you gotta say, oh yeah, all EU players are bad or all NA players are bad, you just aren't very smart. Like, there's nuance to everything, so by you saying that inherently, like, oh yeah, NA players are just worse, lies. That is a bias. The bias, I forgot what it's called, but it's entirely based off you wanting to prove your own beliefs. So anytime you see something that, like, pretty much, it's like echo chambering yourself is the best way to describe it. You only listen to yourself and only listen to your opinion. And that's the crazy thing. People don't want to look at it from other people's perspectives. Like, the thing is, with, like, everything, there's two sides, and there's two ways that people perceived it. Like, there's the, like, let's say there's person 1 perceives things different than person 2. So yeah, person 2 is gonna have a different opinion, and that's gonna cause things to be different. And also, really funny, with, like, I'm not gonna get into politics, but with, like, people, like, and political beliefs, if your parents are leaning left and you actually really like your parents, there's like a higher chance you'll also lean left. And it's the same way you'll lean right if your parents also lean right and you, like, really like your parents. Which, it's entirely based off of the things around you, which is something that's so cool about, like, the brain. Everything you do, every way you act is based off your surroundings. Oh wait, it said that was gonna be the last match. Okay, yeah, that was the last match, because I actually don't want to play chimes for the rest of my day. Anyhow, let's see, how long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for about an hour 15. That's good enough, especially when I just came back. But, like, oh yeah, I just not thought about it. I was doing all those matches, talking the whole time, while being 14 days rusty, and I only lost 2 matches. That is how, like, if you're actually good at parrying, and that's the thing, I've been practicing my parries, like, before I left. Pretty much, the top chimes players, most of the time they can play combo, but they can't parry, so when it goes down to actually a parry off, they will not win. So if you're just better than them at parrying, you will win. Anyhow, thank you for watching my stream. Do a Cure Guard champ I'll tell you what, I'll do the Cure Scar champ next stream. I don't want to do one this stream. I'm kind of tapped out on Deep temporarily because I gotta play Minecraft. Stream Minecraft. Honestly, I will change the stream over to Minecraft. I'm thinking I'll end the stream and then I'll start streaming the Minecraft world. Actually, that sounds like a good idea. I kind of want to do that, but I'm gonna get food before I do that because I'm hungry as hell. Okay, goodbye.